Joining us now, of course, she was pretty much the freshman of the year in every award you can imagine, including, of course, the NFCA National Freshman of the Year winner, as well as the D1 Softball Freshman of the Year, with a record-breaking year, every 22 homers, 86 RBIs, first team All-American. I speak of Taylor Shumaker joining us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball. You had a nice year last year, huh?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When you reflect on last season, what comes to your mind?
I think what comes to my mind most is just the fact that I kind of got to learn how to work with just so many amazing players. I mean, it's just unreal to be able to come, like, you always hear people come to college, oh my gosh, like, you'll never play with that many good players again. But I really do think the fact that I had so many well-rounded, just women in general around me, just made it so that way I could just kind of enjoy playing and not really worry about all the stuff that kind of bothers a lot of people. Like, I don't think I really got homesick because I just loved being around my teammates every day. I don't really think that I got stressed out with schoolwork because I always had somebody there to answer a question for me or to back me up when I needed it. And the staff here is just so amazing that they really just made me feel prepared for every single moment, whether it was in school, in life, or in the game.
What is a couple things you learned from last year that you're going to apply to this season and beyond?
Last year, I think I kind of got a taste of what it was like to kind of doubt myself a little bit. I feel like there was a little bit in the fall where I really just sometimes just didn't feel like I was at my best. And I think my teammates kind of taught me how to bounce back from that and not let that overwhelm me to the point of where I kind of like paralyzed myself. There was kind of a week during the season where it almost felt like nothing I did was helping me get the swing that I needed. Like I almost felt like no matter how hard I tried to change my stance or change what I was doing or my approach, like I really just felt like success wasn't coming my way. And even had to get checked by Coach Thomas. He was like, fix your body language. Why are you acting like that? Like, there's no reason for you to act like that. So I was like, you're right. Like, why am I getting so down on myself when I could just be focusing on what I need to do for my teammates? So I think what I'm going to take into this season is just trying to be there more for my teammates and not allow the game to become kind of lonely when it comes to like just thinking about statistics and stuff like that.
No, that's good advice there because it's tough on a daily basis with this sport. It's hard to hit what you're trying to do and hit a softball. So that makes a ton of sense. What did you work on in your own game during the off season?
My own game, I feel like the mental game is something that we don't really focus on a lot. I am somebody that kind of thrives off of pressure and off of sometimes it can be seen as negativity. But I do think that the fact that I push myself so hard is kind of what makes me be the player that I am. But I do think that this season, I feel like being a better teammate was really what I was working on simply because yes, I've had a successful season, but I do feel like at times there were times where I wasn't being a very good teammate. And I really think that reflecting back on a collegiate career and just thinking about all the personal wins and not thinking about whether or not I was enjoying my teammates the whole time or enjoying the experience will kind of make it feel a little empty. So I have been working on being a better teammate and just making sure that I'm there for my teammates, and just kind of working on like the leadership aspect and all of that.
The leadership aspect of that. What kind of leader do you want to be?
I feel like that's hard. I've had lots of conversations, especially when it came to my senior year of high school with my travel ball coach, and just trying to learn like there are different people who take things different ways. And I think being a leader this last year, I kind of let other people lead me instead of trying to be the one who was always stepping up for everybody. And I think there were times where I did have to step up, but just knowing there were so many people who had so much more experience than I did. Like, yes, I've grown up playing the sport of softball, but collegiate softball is just a whole nother, it's just a whole nother battle. So this year, I think it might come down to just leading with my actions at times. And I think sometimes that's hard for me because I am such like a gritty competitor that at times I want my voice to be heard and I want to make sure that people know that I'm there. But I think leading with my actions might just end up having to be who I am this year. And I think that's going to be it's going to put us in a good spot. We have so many amazing leaders this year, and our group is really just really great. We get along so well. So I don't really think there's going to need to be a whole lot of vocal leadership, but at times I feel there are just so many people who have so many great things to add that it might not have to be really my job.
Well, an experience comes with that. Maybe there will be a time at some point where you'll speak up talk from a vocal standpoint. But it sounds like you don't have to rush it or force it either.
Yeah.
Who are some of the leaders on this group?
So we actually just named our captains yesterday, and they won by a landslide because everybody truly thought they were the best at it. Ava Brown and Jocelyn Erickson are our two captains. I really just think that both of them just have a certain level of maturity that comes with just the experience that comes from the game. Ava really is just somebody that you can always go to for problems. She's very good at just kind of understanding a situation, no matter whether it's life or softball, and kind of just trying to look from different perspectives and just try to find like the pit of the problem and solve it. And I think Joss honestly is just somebody who's just like she's taken a much more positive aspect to this year, especially because it's her last year. She's always just trying to make sure that we're being present in the moment and just making sure that we're being there for each other and not trying to do things for ourselves, but making sure that we're still attempting to do things for the greater good of the team.
That's fantastic there, and I'm big on the Ava Brown fan club there. I feel that she should get more credit than she gets sometimes. She's such a valuable player as a two-way player, and of course Jocelyn Erickson, incredible. And you tied her RBI record. Is there any smack talk between the two of you with that, or no?
Absolutely not. I
You're
mean,
smiling though. You're smiling though.
no. Well, I played travel ball with Joss, so I've known Joss for a really long time, and she's always been somebody that like the second I heard she was coming to Florida, I'm like, let's go. We get to play together again. Like she is such a good person to be around. And I truly think Joss and I do a lot of work together, like hitting wise. And I really do think that she's just somebody that just puts her head down and grinds. And I absolutely love it. I love getting to work with Joss. I love getting to hit with her. I honestly think she's somebody that you hit with her, and honestly, it just makes you better every single time.
It's good. It's good company to have there for sure. I want to talk about your swing because I've had people at all different levels, travel ball and here at the collegiate level, describe you as having quote a perfect swing, a beautiful swing, or two terms that have been used with your swing. Just talk about the mechanics of your swing and that development because people that follow the sport really enjoy that swing that you have mechanically.
Yeah, I think my swing is definitely something that I've put a lot of effort into, especially in travel ball. I think my travel ball coach had a lot to do with a lot of the mechanical things that I mainly focus on. I do think that my swing is a lot of my lower half focus. I don't really like to think about my hands. I think when I think about my hands, it makes my swing get kind of like there's too much going on the top, and I don't really like to focus on that. So staying in my legs is definitely something that's really important to me when it comes to my swing. But also my travel ball coach always stressed to us like our bottom hand, you keep your bottom hand through the ball is going to go to the right spot. Like making sure that we're staying on plane, keeping our hands to the ball. I really think that's what makes my swing what it is. Making sure like I love to drive the ball to the middle of the field. We have our zones in our hitting, and Coach Thomas sets up our six zones of the field. And zone 3, 4 is the middle. And I really think those are like my sweet spots. Like that's where I love to hit the ball. That's when the swing feels good. But I do think my swing is probably the the greater half of the work that I put into softball. I love hitting. It's really just my favorite part. It's just so much fun to me.
Do you watch? Are you one that likes to watch a lot of film of your swing, or are you one that rather not? Like, what's your philosophy on that?
Last year we learned that I'm not a big fan of film. I don't I think I have a high softball IQ. So I know what pitch should be thrown and when. And so at times I will kind of get a little guessy. So on the opposite half, I feel like I like to worry about myself and not worry about what's getting thrown to me. Because if I'm at my best, there's not, I don't, I get taught that if I'm at my best, there's not much that can beat me. So, but on the other half of it, I'm not allowed to watch film by myself because I am somebody that will tear my swing apart and will pick things apart. And like the swings that everybody thinks look perfect,
Sure.
I will find at least 15 things wrong with it. And then it'll start to get to a point where I try to fix problems that aren't there. So I definitely get limited on what I can watch by myself. Like I'll sit with Coach Thomas and I'll be like, that ball should have gone over there. And he's like, that was a backspin ball that looked totally fine. And I'm like,
So you need
okay,
to have somebody to watch you for your own good, basically.
right.
I love that. That is
Yeah.
incredible. You do remind me a lot of your other assistant, Francesca Enea, who I covered as a player. And full disclosure, I got a chance, honored to work with her for 3 years when she was broadcasting games. That sounds a lot like her because she's kind of a perfectionist.
We
I'm
definitely both relate over that.
Okay, good. So I was going to ask you that. How much you two talk about that, and how much you have bonded? Because she was the original. She was a California
Yeah.
girl like you were. She played on the Batbusters. I know you were different coaches, but you both came from California. She was one of the first ever to come to Florida and really pave the way for people like you. How much has she meant to you, in not only from an on the field standpoint, but from an off the field standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Enea is great. I last year I absolutely loved having her in the cage with me just because it's like Coach Walton's really serious and he wants to get the job done. He wants to get it done right. Coach Thomas is kind of like a mix of like not keeping it too serious, but like making sure that we're getting our stuff done. And then I feel like Coach Enea is like that perfect mix between like, let's get it done right, but also like, let's make sure that you're feeling right when you're doing it. So this year, I haven't gotten to work with her as much this year just because Coach Steph just had her baby, so Coach Enea has been helping in the bullpen. But I feel like I really appreciate Coach Enea, especially in the dugout during the games, because it can be really easy for me to get caught up in the what should I have done? Like, how could I have produced better there? And almost like beating myself up during the game. So a lot of the times you'll see me talking to her, I always stand at the front of the dugout because I don't ever want to get stuck in that corner being that teammate that's just like beating myself up. So there will be a lot of the times where I'll like walk in the dugout and I'll be like, that swing was awful. And she'll be like, literally, who cares? Like, there's 6 more innings left to play. Who cares? And I'll be like, you're right. Who cares? And then it'll be right back laser focused on what we're doing. So she's kind of the person that I feel like I can go to be like, that sucked. And she'll be like, really? That round just sucked because I just saw 3 home runs and I must not have been watching when the round sucked. And I'll be like, that round sucked. And she'll be like, okay, right. That round sucked. Okay. But also on the personal side, she's really good with just being able to go to her and like, hey, my day really sucked. This sucked. And she'll be like, wow, I can't believe that sucked. And then she'll kind of get to talking with you about it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I really appreciate her on the softball side and on the personal side just because she's so relatable, especially because she's played the game, she's been in our shoes, and especially for me because she comes from pretty much exactly where I come from.
Yes, I'm so happy you two kind of connected in that regard because yeah, as you talk, you remind me a lot about her. I mean, even in broadcasting too, she's not shy to share her opinion. Like, if I was nervous about on the broadcast, and she's like, just lighten up, like type of thing.
Hmm.
She won't be shy to talk about it, and that's why she's one of my favorite people I've ever known. Not to mention I've watched her as a player. Oh, by the way, she's a Hall of Fame caliber type player. So she knows what she's talking about. So I think that's fantastic that you two bonded over that. You mentioned the Batbusters. How much has Mike Stiff meant to you? I know you have connected with them, and I know that's helped you connect with Amanda Lorenz, who you two have been compared to. I think she's your favorite player, right? As I understand it, when you started watching softball and watched the Gators. Is that accurate?
Pretty accurate, yeah.
Describe that. What have that meant to you in your softball journey, and as well as learning from Amanda Lorenz, watching her play?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard for me to explain what the Batbusters has meant to me. It's gotten me to where I am now. It's gotten me to where I have literal sisters all around the country that I get to play against, and it's awesome getting to see them all succeed. I mean, like, for every year we take a picture at the World Series banquet of all the Batbusters that made it to the World Series. So last year we got to take our picture with Alana Agbayani, Ella Parker, Riley McCoy, Gabby Garcia. Like, a bunch of us got to go and take a picture together and see each other. And I feel like Mike has played such a big part in my career only because I feel like he kind of took on that role as like a second dad. Like he's always wanting to know how we're doing. Like we're traveling to Fullerton in February and we're getting to work out in the new Batbuster facility with Mike. And I think that's just going to be so special to be able to hit with him while I'm on the road during the season. I always want to hear what he has to say because I feel like he is probably one of the people that knows my swing the best because he's kind of helped me develop it and get it to where it is now. Um, but yeah, I think Mike has just he's given me so many connections, including Amanda. And Amanda just got to speak to us last week because we were having a bunch of Gator greats come and speak to us. And I relate to Amanda so much because she's gotten to hit with me a few times in the fall, which was really, really cool. Just because I love I just love the idea of learning. I love learning anything and everything about softball. Softball is like I'm a softball person. I will
Yes.
talk about softball, watch softball, do it all. And Amanda is just so knowledgeable about the game, and she's been a part of so much of the building of the AUSL and stuff like that. So just getting to talk to her, she's also super relatable, just like personally. But just getting to be kind of to where she's in my circle, to where I could text her if I needed her, or if I could ask her a question or things like that. But also, we got to do Home Run Derby X together, which was really cool getting to spend time with her. But yeah, I really just think that like Mike and Amanda have just really been there for me during this kind of time where it's just so in between. Like there's so much going on and so much to be learned. And Mike's just really straightforward. So if I'm like during that week in the season where I kind of started to doubt myself, I called him and he's like, why are you worrying about that? He always says like being good is hard, and it is
Yeah.
really hard. And it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I'm good now, but how do I stay good next week? And he's just really good at, especially when I call him, just kind of resetting me, making sure that I'm not making the game too big. And Amanda's kind of become like an older sister to where I can kind of go to her and she's kind of made the game just kind of fun to learn about.
Yeah, it's a good person to lean on. Four-time All-American. She'll be a future Gator Hall of Famer herself.
Right.
Playing at a high level still to this day, and will continue
Mhm.
to. I think we all would hopefully expect her to see on that Olympic team in 28. Who knows? You two could
Of
be
course.
teammates, maybe down the road.
Of course.
On that, you mentioned the Home Run Derby X. This is why you got a future in podcasting if you want, because I was going to ask you about that. Describe the experience being part of Home Run Derby X. As I understand it, you played what with Adam Wainwright. You had Rick
hmm
Ankiel.
hmm
You hit in Iowa, I want to say. Just take us through that whole experience because you got all the way to the final, and then of course, you run into Jocelyn Allo walking you off, but still
Right.
pretty awesome experience.
Yeah. Um, when my agent brought up the idea of doing Home Run Derby X, I was a little skeptical because I had to miss the first weekend of Gator football. But I was really excited at the idea. I grew up right next to Angel Stadium, so baseball has always been something that's really been big in my family. We were really big Angel fans, or I guess are big Angel fans, I guess. But I was always like a super big baseball fan. Like I loved watching baseball because I never understood football until I got to college. So like baseball was my sport because I felt like I understood it at the point where like it kind of intersected with softball. So I love the strategy behind baseball and stuff like that. So they told me I was going to do Home Run Derby X and I was like stoked because I'm like, yes, I get to hit, I get to be around really cool baseball players. This is going to be awesome. I'm like, and I also get to hit with other really good softball players. So I'm like, this is going to be really cool. So I showed up in Iowa. I was late because I was telling the people at Home Run Derby X, I'm like, listen, I have weights in the morning. I'm like, I can fly out after weights. I'm like, but there are certain things you got to grind through with your teammates that I just can't miss out on for a personal opportunity. There's just no way. So I ended up flying out to Iowa. The experience was really, really cool because we got there and I was like to Nick Swisher, I said, "Are you setting us up for failure? Like you put the three Home Run Derby X newbies on the same team? Like Nick, you've done this so many times. Like some of these people have done it so many times and I've never done it before." So I get there late, I'm trying to figure out the rules and it was just so cool because I definitely didn't feel like anybody in Home Run Derby X like was trying to big league anybody. Like I feel like it's really easy for these famous baseball players to kind of just see like somebody still in college and be like, "Oh, you don't know what it's like," and then move on and not really try to form that relationship. But I feel like my favorite was really just getting to know everybody and kind of building almost like a small little family. Nick Swisher is really cool because my family came to the finals and he ended up like my little sister met him and she thought he was the coolest guy on earth. And my little sister finally had hit her first home run. And Nick Swish swiped up on my story and was like, hell yeah, like, let's go. So, like, stuff like that was really cool. And just getting to be around a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I did know from before and just meet a whole bunch of people and kind of not even network, but just kind of meet some guys and just be able to talk about a game that we all love so much. It was just really special and a really good experience. I told myself I was going to have so much fun whether I won or not. I mean, winning's fun, but just getting to meet all those people and getting to kind of experience just something so new and something so
Sure.
special, I know I was going to enjoy it anyway.
I bet. With Swisher at the top of the list of cool people you wanted to meet there, or you got to meet?
I feel like I was really excited to meet Adam Wainwright. That
Fair,
was
fair,
cool.
fair.
He was really cool, and they told us he wasn't coming to Salt Lake, and I was so upset. I was like, I didn't even find out until I was there. I was like, Wayno's not coming? What do you mean he's not coming? He was the MVP. What do you mean he's not coming? But it was just a really cool experience anyway. I had so much fun.
Adam Wainwright for Gardner, great pitcher. Of course, does commentating now. That's good. I'm assuming you take photos with these people. That's like a must, right? Do you ask for it?
Of course.
Right? Okay,
I
good.
have like I have like three different baseballs that are covered in signatures.
Smart move,
Covered.
smart move. All right, you mentioned your family, you and your family are Angel fans, so I have to ask: are you all
Mhm.
Mike Trout fans, Shohei fans? I know Shohei's with the Dodgers now, but maybe that's the answer is no anymore. But
I
who are you a fan of?
I am the biggest Mike Trout fan on planet Earth, I feel.
Okay,
I have been a Mike Trout fan probably since I was about like 7 years old. So my grandparents live in Arizona, and we used to go to spring training every year. And I wanted Mike Trout's signature so bad. I wanted his autograph so bad. But he never really signed a bunch of balls. So I'm like probably 7 years old, and these two guys go, come here. They're up at the front. They're like, come here. And they're like, Mike, it's my niece's birthday. I've never met these guys ever before in my life. And they're handing him my baseball, and he signed my baseball. It's still in my room at home. It was literally like one of the highlights of my life. It's it's fading a little bit, and I hope it doesn't fade. It's in like a little baseball container thing. But I honestly, I was like, dude, he's an outfielder like me. He's a hitter like me. This is awesome. Like, even though he's not left-handed, I'm like, he's a hitter like me.
yeah,
He hits a bunch of home runs. He's really good. Why would I not be a Mike Trout fan? So, yeah, I feel like he's probably my favorite baseball player that I've seen play. But yeah, I just love watching him play. He's definitely like my childhood favorite player.
understandable. That's a good
Yeah.
choice. And you need to remind people how amazing he is. He's had some bad luck with injuries, but like
Right.
he's still a
I'm
first
like, you
class
can't tell me he's not one of the greatest all-around players, though.
thousand
Can't tell me
percent
that.
agree. 1,000% agree. Are you as big of a fan of the weather as he is? Because he's a big weather guy. I don't know if you've seen that part of side of him where he loves studying weather and meteorology. Yeah, he has talked
I did
about
not
this.
know that.
All right, I'll let you study that. Next time we talk, I'll bring this up. But yeah, he's a big fan of that. People always go to him for weather topics.
Interesting.
It's kind of wild. You mentioned not a big football fan, but you are aware by now the Swamp. It's a bucket list place to go watch a football game. It
For
sounds
sure.
like you have been. What was the experience like?
Oh my gosh. The Swamp is unreal. Like when they tell you SEC football is unreal, it's crazy. Like I've been to some games back at home at UCLA, and it's nothing at all like going to
Yeah,
an SEC football game. We could be losing by like 20 and people are still going insane. They're like that's part of the reason why I think I picked Florida was that Gator fans are so diehard Gator
yes,
fans. We could have every sport failing, which we never would because Florida's amazing. But we could have every sport failing, and there would still be people that would be like, I would cut off my left leg for a Gator national
sure.
championship. Like, our fans are so awesome in that way. They are just like so bleed orange and blue. Like, they love the Gators. And like being able to go to the games and like, honestly, I think it's so cool when we get to go to the games and like know people on the field. And like, there are people that are like in the stands and they're taking pictures with like people that you know, and you're like, I see that person every day at the dining hall. Like people are fangirling, but it's like so cool that like my friends are people that other people like they're their favorite athletes. And I'm like, dude, we just hung out last night. Like, and you're their favorite athlete. That's like super awesome. But yeah, the swamp is just unreal. Like there's no place like it. Even when me, Kendra, and Joss got to go down on the field, literally it's like you have like you look up and it's like three times the size that you
Yes,
think it is.
yes,
It's
100%.
huge.
It's incredible. And then you got the tradition, what, at the end of the third quarter with the Tom Petty
Of
song.
course.
I mean,
You
it's
always
just,
have to stay at least
yes.
till then.
Oh, it's incredible. And, you mentioned the fan base. I mean, you got to witness that a little bit, I think, last year, even at your own home at KSP and the support they have for softball. I mean, I think to the atmosphere again for the Oklahoma series, the Georgia
Mhm.
super regionals, the regionals, you got to see it firsthand on the softball end.
Yeah, for sure. Our fans, Gator fans, especially like what I love is when I go to other sporting events and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I have season tickets to volleyball, gymnastics, football, softball, baseball,
Sure.
soccer." And I'm like, how do you how do you have time for all that? But they make time. They're there every single time. There are fans that we get to know that we're like, oh my gosh, I know that guy. I see him every game.
Yeah.
Or there was fans that sat at the bottom of kind of like by our on deck circle and they had these little two like baby shoes. They went and bought like shoes from the baby section at Target and they clipped them onto the fence for me for every game. And they couldn't go to the World Series, and they gave them to my mom to bring to the World Series because they were like, the shoes have been at every single game. The shoes need to be at this game. But
Wow.
I love our fan base. They're just awesome and so supportive.
That's a great. That's wow. That's a while. There's a while there
Yeah.
on that. A couple last things before I let you go. Coach Walton, just
Mhm.
describe playing for him. Describe him here. He's now been there 20 years. Obviously, he's built that program. Describe Coach Walton.
I think Coach Walton's a lot like Mike Stith, which is what I love most about him. I do think that Walton gives us space to kind of figure some stuff out to where it's like I'm struggling a little bit, but he's not going to overcomplicate the game, which I like. I The part that I love the most about Walton is that he's very straightforward. He wants to get the job done and get it right, and he wants to kind of put us in the position to succeed. He's always he's usually with the infield, but getting to hit with him every day is like he's always like, listen, you need extra work, I'm there. You need this, I'm on it. You need this, I'm on it. You're having trouble with this, tell me, I'm doing it. It's like he's so supportive, but at the same time, you'll be having a crappy round hitting and he'll be like, so how's your family doing? How's your little sister doing? And I'm like, I just rolled over three balls to the first baseman. Why are you asking me that? But even yesterday, we were hitting off live, and he's like, "It's not the pitcher, it's you. It's not the pitcher, it's you." And I'm like, "You're right. It is me. I need to fix it. It's me. It's me." And then I fixed it, and he's like, "I knew it was you. I
Likes to.
know it was me."
Uh, oh, he likes to play the mind games. It's
Yeah,
just
he's awesome. I
it's
absolutely
incredible.
love him. He's awesome.
That's fantastic. Tremendous. Last year, you got to play in the World Series. Got there. I know it didn't go the way you would have liked, but two-part question. Number one, what was the experience like playing in that stage in Oklahoma City, and what do you want to take from that experience, you and the returners, to this year? Because I know there's some probably unfinished business among you as a team.
The World Series, I feel like, was just such a special place for me to be at. I had never been there before, even as a fan.
Ooh.
So I had never been there. And to be able to see the growth of our sport, I feel like was really just my favorite part of being there. Like to be able to look up while you're playing and not even be able to hear the person that's like 5 feet next to you because the stadium is absolutely filled, not only with like our games, there wouldn't just be Florida fans and whoever we were playing. There were fans from every single team, even teams that weren't there.
Yes,
There are
yes,
fans of those
yes.
teams there. So it's like there are just people that are just diehard, just softball fans. They don't care who's playing, what score it is, what the game is. They just want to be there to experience it. And I honestly feel like just being able to kind of go through all the media stuff and go through the games and see all the people there, it really just felt like people are showing up for our sport and they're recognizing how awesome it is and how much fun it is to watch and to be able to see kind of all these new faces and all these new players in softball just grow our sport to where our we're able to have stadiums filled like that was just kind of like an awe moment. I was just like, wow, there's so many people here. It looks so much bigger than it does on TV. And I just really appreciate that because I am just a lover of softball. I absolutely love the game. And to see it grow like that was just something that was really, really cool. I mean, just getting to the World Series is something that's really special. And I think going into this next year, I really just want to make sure that my teammates understand like how cool it is, like what we get to do. I think at the end of our season last year, it kind of got to where it was like, oh, we made it to the World Series. That's great. But we didn't know what to do after that. So it was like our goal all season was make it to the World Series, make it to the World Series, make it to the World Series. But once we got there, we kind of were lost and didn't really know what to do. So this year, I think we're working really hard at fixating our goals to where we're not so future focused. So that way when we get there, we know kind of what we want to do. But yeah, honestly, I think sometimes it's easy to kind of get stuck in like I have to do this, oh, we have to do that, oh, we have this, we have that. But it's like I think sometimes we get lost in the fact that playing college softball is so cool. Like we get to go show up to the field every day, play the sport that we love, see the people that we love, and we get to do it for a living pretty much for 4 years of our lives.
Yes.
And I think sometimes that gets lost in translation and you're like, oh, we're at the World Series. There's so much pressure. We have to win. And it's like, well, A, you're at the World Series, which is awesome because it's really hard to get there. And B, it's just like every other game. Like you have to play it that way or else the moment does get too big. So I think my teammates, I really just want to make sure that if there's anything I'm doing is making sure that we're taking each game pitch by pitch and kind of making sure that once we get there or once we get to a point where we feel good, that we're kind of soaking in every moment and just making sure that we're feeling every moment as the team.
No, that's a great advice there. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be experience. It's not supposed to, it's playing softball. It's a fun time. It's fun to play it. It's fun to cover it. It's fun to cover people like you, Taylor Shumaker. Listen, this has been a blast. Like I said, I've enjoyed watching you play and even enjoyed more talking to you. You're a fun. People have raved about you, so now I see why. Listen, thank you so much for telling us your story. I know we'll cross paths during the year. We'll have you back on down the road. But in the meantime, good luck this season. Good luck. And thanks for talking to us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball.
Of course, thank you so much.